Hello, everyone. Um, I am going to share more about the Eastern Communications and more about the responsibility accounting. So, Eastern Communications. What is Eastern Communication? This is actually a telecommunications company in the Philippines, jointly owned by PLDT and Globe Telecom through its own subsidiary, Vega Telecom. So at present, Eastern Communications offers fixed broadband services in Metro Manila, Cavite, Laguna, Baguio, Cebu City, Iloilo, and Tuguegarao. So for us to understand more of the services they offer, let's watch this video.
Today's technology-ridden world can really be so complicated. But there is one company that can help you sort through the complex world of telecommunications. A company that believes access to high-tech communication solutions does not have to be complicated, but simple and easy through personalized high-touch service. Our industry expertise that spans over a century is backed by ultra-modern technology and infrastructure that allows us to respond to the growing connectivity needs of today's fast-evolving enterprises. At Eastern, we are ready to listen to your needs to find the best communication solutions to take your business where you want it to be. That's our strong connection. Internet services. Ready to switch to a fast and reliable internet connection? Eastern's internet services are scalable and flexible enough to cater to your specific bandwidth and latency needs. Whether you are a big business or a startup, Eastern Communications has cost-friendly, innovative solutions to keep your business hooked up to the World Wide Web through reliable, fast, and powerful internet connection options. Data services. Are you in need of a solution that offers secure and reliable transmission of business information? Do not compromise your business. Make sure information is accessible and is delivered securely via our reliable and resilient data services. We have the perfect data service that will suit your business needs. May it be point-to-point or multi-point, within networks, and local or international data networking. Is your business affected by poor audio quality and call dropping? Let your message cut through the world loud and clear with our uninterrupted voice services. Powered by our own gateway switch to international carriers, ensuring strong, high-quality, real-time voice calls all the time. Losing sleep over data security or the massive and expensive IT operations? Our managed services products are designed to match the needs of varying business sizes. Eastern can provide end-to-end support for data management and security for big businesses, and IT operations management for small to medium-scale enterprises. Let us do all the worrying so you can just focus on growing your business even more. So next time you come across problems with your connection, partner with Eastern, because our language is solutions. Get in touch with our account manager today. All it takes is that one connection. Our strong connection. Eastern Communications.
And that's it. That's the services the Eastern Communications offers. So there are lots of things that they are still offering. And these are the broadband, the telephone, and the fiber internet services in high-end commercial and residential areas. As of 2020, they actually have this asset of 9 billion pesos. So, and for this year, they have allotted 2.8 billion or 31% of their assets. So as we all know, they have allotted this kind of money for their expansion, because as we all know, internet connection these days is a must and a very essential need. So they have this statement where the Eastern Communication said that on last July 7, 2021, the expansion plans will cover Davao City, Cagayan de Oro, Dumaguete, Tagbilaran, Bacolod, Rojas, Calibo, Caticlan, Boracay, Nega, Legazpi, Iriga, and Sorsogon provinces. Eastern Communications has started laying fiber optic cables to address the requirements of companies in central business districts and has placed strategic hubs. So they are placing these hubs in various regional locations for their strategic plan. So in order to better serve the local enterprises in the area, the company said in its statement. So it also said that a new area of growth was the government's Digital Cities program, which it said would promote countryside development. And Eastern said network modernization project started in 2020. Despite the arrival of the COVID-19 pandemic, this include its expansion in Iloilo and Tuguegarao. So Eastern will continue this trend and we plan to be available nationwide in the next years. It is from Eileen Regio, Eastern Communications Coordinator, said in the statement. So this is an exciting time of growth for all of us, and we as a telecommunication company look forward to being a big part of the Philippines' strongest tomorrow. That is what she added. So with the statement of the company coordinator, we can assess that they are practicing responsibility accounting for having regional hubs as their strategy for expansion. So that means they have offices or centers in those regional locations, and they were able to enumerate that, like the Davao City, Cagayan de Oro, Dumaguete, Tagbilaran, Bacolod, Rojas, the Calibo, the Caticlan, the Boracay, the Naga, Legazpi, Iriga, and Sorsogon provinces. So, but before we go further, let's have a recap of what is responsibility accounting. So, responsibility accounting involves accumulating and reporting costs that involve the manager who has the authority to make the day-to-day decisions about the cost items. So, these are the places that they wanted to expand more of their services. So they also have business offices in Makati, Cebu, Baguio, Caloocan, and Tuguegarao. So each and every decisions has its own branch managers to do the responsibility accounting. So as you can see on your screens, they have this Makati, the Cebu, the Baguio, the Caloocan, Tuguegarao, and each of those offices has its own manager responsible for those reports and for those accounting reports. Okay, so with this kind of plans and or these developments being done by Eastern Communications, they have what we call the advantages and disadvantages of this responsibility accounting. So we discussed first the advantages, like it establishes a system of control. So when we talk about a system of control, it actually motivates the managers to perform well in areas they can control. So for example, managers of Cebu branch has all the control of the day-to-day business operations. So what does it mean? It actually motivates the managers to do well for their performance, because the branch itself will be the face, not their face, or they will be the one who will be representing their branches. So it motivates them. Okay, so another advantage is it is designed according to the organizational structure. So what does it mean? it is an advantage because it's easier to know whose responsibility the branches are, because in the organizational structure that you will see, you will know, you will learn who is responsible for that branch. So it will be easier. Okay, so another one, it encouraged the budget for comparison of actual achievements with the budgeted data. So what does it mean? It is easier to access if the goals are being met. So if actually you can see also if whose branch are meeting the goals and expectations. If it is the Makati branch, the Bagu, the Tugigaraw, or the Cebu. So that is an advantage. Another one is it simplifies the performance and report because it includes those items which are beyond the control of individuals. So what do you mean by that? It is actually easier, or it is the ease of doing business. No? It will simplify things. So what about the disadvantages? No? When you promote or apply responsibility accounting in your business. Generally, a prerequisite for establishing a successful responsibility accounting system like proper identification of responsibility center and adequate delegation of work, proper reporting is missing that makes it difficult for establishing a responsibility accounting system. Another one, it requires skilled manpower in each department, which increases the cost of the company. So what does it mean? When you have this Makati branch, you are required to have a skilled manager. It not just for the operation manager, you also need every type of manager that is actually responsible for those centers. So if actually you have a very, very big company and then you have those branches, and in those branches you also have marketing managers, you also have operational managers, you have accounting managers. So all the skilled, no, you need them in each department. So it increases the cost of the company. Another one, disadvantage, the responsibility accounting system applies only to controllable costs. So that means the other things that is uncontrollable will be very hard, no, to look for the accountability. Okay, and another disadvantage, if the responsibility and objective are not properly explained to the person, then the responsibility accounting system will not give proper results, of course, because responsibility, great power comes great responsibility. So if you're having a control in a branch, that's a power. And when there's a power, there's a responsibility. So those are the advantages and disadvantages of responsibility accounting. So we move on to the responsibility accounting process, or the things that should be put in mind, no, when it comes to responsibility accounting. First, we have the inputs and the outputs. What does it mean? So the implementation of responsibility accounting based upon the information relating to inputs and outputs. The resource utilized in an organization, like quantity of raw materials consumed, labor hours consumed, are termed as inputs, and finished product generated is termed as outputs. So all the things that being consumed by the Makati branch, these are the inputs. Okay, while the products, the finished products or the services, no, that they have given to their customers, these are the outputs, the generated term as outputs. So these are the things that a branch or a manager is responsible for accounting. Another one, we have the identification of responsibility centers. Okay, so the whole concept of responsibility accounting depends upon identification of responsibility center. Of course, that's why it's the term itself. The responsibility center for the responsibility accounting. So the responsibility center defines the decision point in the organization. Is in small organizations, generally, one person is probably the owner of the firm, can manage the entire organization. Okay, if it's small company, so the accounting, the marketing, the operation, everything is under one person. Okay, another one is the target and actual information. So responsibility accounting requires target or budget data and actual data for performance, evaluation of the responsible manager of each responsibility center. So responsibility between organization structure and responsibility center, the other one. So an organization structure with clear authority and responsibility is required for a successful responsibility accounting system. So similarly, the responsibility accounting system must be designed as per the organizational structure. That's why whenever there is a manager responsible for that branch or for that center, it should be skilled because the responsibility that is being given to that manager is really, really very big and should put some concentrations and focus. So another one, assign cost and revenue to an individual. So after defining the authority, responsibility, relationship, cost, and revenue, which are controllable, should be assigned to individuals for evaluating their performances. So everything that is about the branch of Makati, the responsible is the one who is operating the Makati branch. And for those who are in Cebu, they are responsible for the Cebu operations, or if they are or if they are meeting the goals and objectives of the company, or if they are not. So the ones who are in Baguio are the ones who are responsible for Baguio. So with this responsibility accounting, we can actually evaluate the performance of those individual centers. Okay, so that's the responsibility accounting. So this is an example of operating costs and expenses that is being reported by each and every branches, because these are the things that they are accountable of, or what they call controllable assets or controllable costs. Okay, so like the utilities, the repair and the maintenance, the rent expenses, the salaries, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we were able to have a copy of this thanks to Sir Peds. Okay, so design. So as a PhD student, the responsibility accounting system is a mechanism by which costs and revenue accumulated and reported to the top management to make an effective decision. So it gives freedom to individuals to show their skills for reducing the costs and increasing the revenue of the organizations. In a responsibility accounting system, organizations divide their department in different responsibility center, which helps an organization to focus on only those departments whose performance is not as per target. So at the same time, the accounting system is useful only for the big organization because it requires skills and more manpower for each responsibility center. And for an effective responsibility accounting system, it is necessary that all managers are aligned with the company objective and they know their responsibility. So that's it. So I think you have learned something with this sharing and the sharing of information. And thank you, sir, and God bless us all.